What's your name? What's your question?
Hi.
Can you step closer to the mic for me a little bit? Yeah, there you go.
I'm B. My question is, how do you communicate your growth journey to someone new without overwhelming them when you have been single for some time?
Why do you have to communicate it, though? Why do you have to communicate your growth journey to somebody who's new?
I guess because, for me, when I meet somebody new, it's more or less how they get to know me and where I am. So I speak a lot, but I feel like I'm sharing too much, if that makes sense.
That sounds like exactly what you're doing. Because what's understood ain't got to be explained. If you've done the growth, it is evident in the actions, it's evident in the results, in the life, and the confidence that you have. I hate when people tell me how they healed from their ex. I didn't ask you about your ex. That let me know you're not healed from your ex. You know, the people that's healed from their ex don't even talk about them. And so sometimes when you have done the work to upgrade yourself, you don't need to talk about it. And the people you really need to worry about is the people that's newly healed. Because that healedness ain't tested the time yet. All right.
Also, I want to add that a lot of times and I tell this to women that I coach, when you talk a lot about what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, and you got a whole list of your standards, and that is the quickest way for a man who has the terrible intentions to sniff you out, right? When you come along to somebody and you're like, oh, I'm on my healing journey, I'm celibate, I'm not giving up right now, the more you talk, the more a man is trying to sniff out how he can penetrate what you got going on. Keep it quiet. You can show it in your presence. You can show it in the things you're doing. As Kitty said, you don't have to communicate to somebody, and when you do overly communicate that's just like if you at a car dealership or somebody selling something, they telling you all these things about you're not gonna be skeptical like, why are you trying to sell this to me so hard? It's the same thing. When you open up, you're opening a window of vulnerability to have people that don't have good intentions try to poke and sniff you out, right? So just show it in your actions. You don't actually have to talk about it.
Well, one thing I would add to this conversation is sometimes transparency is just a defense mechanism, right? And so what you're really trying to do is say, don't hurt me, right? So I'm communicating over and over again all the things that I've been through and how I'm getting better and going through it and I'm healing and all these things. What you're really trying to say is, I don't want to be hurt again. So what you can do is just act accordingly, right? Create the boundary that you really want to create instead of talking about it, and just remove yourself from situations that don't serve you well. That's the true idea of communication, is just removing yourself, right? You don't have to keep talking and talking and talking, because what I've learned is the person that's the loudest in the room is usually the what? The weakest in the room. So you gotta ask yourself, why am I talking so much, or why am I not just doing?
Well, I like talking, so I don't mind that. But I also want to ask you, just for clarification, when you say your growth journey, give me an example. Like if we were out on a date right now, tell me about yourself.
Oh, God.
It's an interview?
Come to the mic a little bit.
So, I don't even know where to start. The only reason I asked this question, because I've been through a lot. I've been engaged 4 times.
Okay, now we got to talk. All right, so did you go through with any of them?
No.
Man, maybe don't mention that too soon.
You gotta be, but I'm gonna say this because you
Don't mention that too soon.
you gotta be. First of all, when this show over, go get my book, Safe to Love. It's going to teach you all about that.
Okay.
I put my heart into that book. But let me say this. Sometimes we have to be really careful of how much information we give to a person who's new, because they can start seeing us as a resource. If you can see that I have endured a lot.
Right.
If you have seen that I've been able to go through all of these trials and stuff like that to become the person I am, you really have sharks in the water, honey. You have manipulators. You have people who are controlling. You have people with personality disorders, narcissists, and everything like that who will see that. They peep it in the way you talk. Just how nervous you got. A narcissist can stand right in front of you and say, oh, I got her. She lacks confidence. Oh. And then they see exactly, they look at you and they say, I know exactly how to maneuver. I know how to play on you. I know how to manipulate you. We don't always have to give that to people. The reason why I named my book Safe to Love is because I need to know if you are safe to love. And I need to know if I'm safe to love as well. If I've just met you, I don't know enough about you to give you my whole inner world. I need to know that I can trust you with my inner experiences. You have to show me that there is some safety and security here. You giving it away way too soon, honey. And it's gonna be, if you've been engaged 4 times, I wonder what really happened. It's gonna be, and I'm not just putting that on her. It can be that person as well. But it can be the wrong person who puts up a very good mask that comes to you, and you told them, I went through 5 years of this, and they say in their mind, I got 5 more years for you. And you think they have good intentions when they do not. I think because of the way you asked the question, I really think you lack discernment. And I think that's something that you really need to work on, is learning how to discern even in the dating spaces as well. They can see the woman that you are now. That's good enough for them. They let them see what it is, who you are now. That's what matters. Now, who you were 5, 10 years ago, you don't walk through the journey that God has for you to get to where you are now. Be happy and be proud of who you are right now. Like you were saying, whenever somebody has to always tell their story, they're not really proud of where they are. They're still attached to their past.
Yeah.
We have to let go of what was in our past, because that was what held us bondage in the first place. We've been rescued from our past. So I want you to see the person that I have become and learn to love the person that I am in front of you right now. Unless they asking you about your past, leave it alone, honey.
Now,
Leave it alone.
I agree. Period. Can we talk about the flip side?
We sure can.
Some people got stuff they do need to explain, though. Now, respectfully, four engagements need a very good explanation. So now I can see why you say I want to tell my growth journey, is because, hey, listen, if I'm going to be transparent, if I was on a date and a woman said she's been engaged 4 times, didn't see it through, it would give me cause for concern. However, if she explains to me what happened, where she's taken accountability, where she's improving, then I'd be more apt to continue. So I think that there is some grace for people with, stories like that. You know what I mean? Now, do I think it needs to be talked about on the first date? But I'm telling you, let me get 3 lobster dinners in, and you tell me you've been engaged 4 times? Yeah. I'm already in $700? We got a problem. Now, and the reason I say that, just to wrap it up, I was talking to, I was newly single. I was talking to this woman, and not newly, but you get what I'm saying. I was talking to this woman, and I was really considering her. And she was talking about her previous marriage. Unprompted, she co-parents with I think I asked, how's the relationship with your baby daddy, the father of your kid? And the reason I wanted to know that is, if I'm gonna sign up, I just want to make sure it's kosher there. And she could have just been like, we have a healthy co-parenting situation, moved on. Or, hey, it's a work in progress. She went to it's a work in progress, but then she went through the whole history of the marriage, what ended up happening, and it sounded like she didn't take accountability. She said she divorced him, there was no cheating. I'm like, why? And then the more she talked about it, the more disinterested I got. Because I'm like, and a lot of times you think, this is just blanketly, trashing that man makes me feel more empathetic for you. Sometimes it makes me feel more empathetic for him. And then a man can see that as a warning. So I appreciate women who have done the growth. And when it's a story, they tell me, again, where they take accountability, how they grew from it. And I think you have to follow it with that and not just complain about it. Anybody else? And guess what? That's been another episode of the Tonight's Conversation podcast. Live in Charlotte, make some noise!
Woo-wee. So the question is, should she tell people about her healing journey? Those first few dates. Should she tell people?
I mean, I know you proud of what you accomplished and stuff, but I agree with what they were saying. Just leave that, allow your outer self and how you represent yourself now to be that thing. You ain't got to tell everybody your business. Maybe that's something down the line after you together with the person and y'all, just sharing and having the pillow talk. Not pillow talk like y'all in the bed. I'm just saying y'all on the phone like we used to do back in the day. You know what I'm saying. We used to call it caking. Anyway. But yeah, when you just talking on the phone or whatever, you just be able to share those things and open up. And that way, after you've been dating or something, I can see that. But the first couple of dates and whatnot, nah, I wouldn't do that. Because like they said, people are weird these days. They would try to prey on you and do all types of stuff and try to bring you back to that place of where you once were at the end of the day. So I would just keep that stuff to yourself. Allow for yourself to just exhibit what it is that you're trying to say, and that's good enough at the end of the day. Because I think we all can say we're all better from our, past relationships, and we've learned a lot. But we don't have to go through every new person that we come across and say X, Y, and Z, but instead just move accordingly, and so that you don't get hurt, or so you don't have to go and deal with those particular types of things that you dealt with before. So that's what I think. Just keep it moving. You ain't got to talk too much. Sometimes talking too much is just doing a lot, and we don't want to hear it anyway. We don't want to hear it. So just keep it moving. Yeah, what you got to say?
I feel it. Yeah, I think too much information too soon can be a turn off. Try to keep it more on the light side, get to know each other, some fun little facts. And then as y'all continue to see each other, then you can lay on some heavier things. I do think that she should eventually tell her, spouse to be that, hey, I've been engaged 4 times. Because I think if that comes out, without her telling him, I think it can just feel like betrayal that, hey, why you didn't tell me that? That's a big thing, So I think eventually she should tell them, but in the beginning, just let it, be nice and light, enjoy each other, enjoy the dates, and then talk about that later.
I mean, so what would be your advice to her in this situation? She said she's been engaged 4 times. At what point should she tell that? Because if I'm a man and I'm dating with intention and I'm trying to get engaged, I'm trying to be married, I feel like that's information I want to know, because that probably means I'm going to see you later because there's something going on that I don't want to be a part of. So when do you think that she should tell the person? If it's not going to be on the first couple dates, when do you think that should happen?
Ooh, wee. Honestly, I think it's, in my head, it's 2 categories. If you are courting and you want to be married very soon, and you are very intentional about that, I would say that in even like, the first couple of dates. But being, these people, they seem like she just want to casually date. I think casually dating and you're not looking to get married very soon, and you want to draw this thing out, then I would say later on. Because the reason why I say that is because I just feel like if you're courting, you got to be transparent from the start, because that's how we were like that with each other. We were very transparent from the beginning, but that's because we wanted to be married. We wanted to make sure this was right. This wasn't just gonna be no girlfriend boyfriend thing for the next couple of years. No, we wanted to find our spouse. So with that being said, if she on that boat, I would say tell him within the first couple of dates. But if you not on that boat for whatever reason, then you can go ahead and draw it out. That's in my opinion, though. What you think?
No, I agree completely. Don't just be telling any old body. If you just casually just meeting other people, then yeah, keep that to yourself. But if you really date with intention and this is someone who you really perceive to be your husband or whomever, then yeah, those conversations need to be happening early, so that, number one, so people ain't wasting time, and so that, processing and everything else. And the right man, especially in her situation, will be able to accept that and be understanding, and will treat that and steward it well at the end of the day. And I feel like casually dating people will be like, oh, you know how it be. So yeah, I agree. Just save that for when you really trying to get down into the nitty gritty and everything else, and for that right person, and not just some random Joe Blow who you just happened to meet on the street one day and said, let's go get coffee. So yeah,
I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. Check out stamps-tv.com. We got so much content on there. Free content, club stamps as well if you want some other more exclusive content. But go check it out. It's thebomb.com.
Yep, and while you're on there, go ahead and visit that shop, Stamps Apparel tab. We got great t-shirts, hoodies, just like these. These are t-shirts, not hoodies, but you get what I'm saying. We got great stuff on there, jogger sets, all different types of stuff. So go ahead and get you a little something.
And go check out Stamps Essentials on the website. Click that tab on the website. We got shampoos, protein treatments, deep conditioners, leave-in conditioners, hair growth oil, hair grease, whipped shea butter for the skin, lip liners, and our signature product, Stay Moist Coil's hair system, which I have in my hair right now. It's a wash and go system, but you can also use it for your single twists, your single braids, and your perm rod sets, okay? And yes, this is all my hair. This ain't no wig, no extensions, no nothing. This is my hair, and I use our products, okay? Yes, thebomb.com, honey. Your hair can look fabulous too. Go ahead and check that tab on the website. We out, y'all.
See y'all.